All right, I will call together the October 16th meeting of the Town of Fairfield Golf Commission. I'm going to waive the Pledge of Allegiance, but I will start with just taking a quick roll call. This is Keith Varian.
Peter Secret. Mike Harrington.
Priscilla Schultz.
Bob Higgins.
Peter Grace. Mike Feinstein.
Christine Hogan.
And then, Anthony, you on the call?
Yep, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yes, gotcha. Liam, are you on?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Thank you, everybody. We will start with the minutes. You all have what Crew circulated. Any comments or revisions to that? All right.
I have a motion to approve.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right. All right. We will start with the staff reports. Bob, looks like you had a pretty good outing tonight.
Hello, everyone. Yeah, we just completed another outing, very successful. My favorite kind of outing because we were able to get play out in front of it in the morning and then another 120 some odd golfers in the afternoon. So it was a good day for Smith.
There was no dinner though.
A great day for charity. But they supported the restaurant quite nicely for their lunch.
Oh, good.
Happens to be a restaurant bar place where they all go back there.
Oh, okay.
It worked out quite well.
Good.
Because they're required. Everything's going pretty good besides a lot of wet weather.
Yeah.
But I think we're hanging strong. When the tee sheet's open, it's filled. Everything's going good in that regard. I think we had a very successful season. I think the leagues and the clubs are all happy with what we've done. One thing I would like to address is at the range, the new machine has been a
Nightmare.
Go ahead, let it out.
No problem. But through much determination, I've got them to deem it a lemon. So we got a bad machine, it never worked right. And they've agreed that it was under warranty, and they gave us all new innards. So hopefully going forward, my dream of it being operational all the time will work. What was happening is randomly, every once in a while, you would swipe your card and the whole machine would end. So you'd have thousands of balls running around. Very hard to manage. But I'm hopeful with new motherboard and stuff that.
Well, I did it last week. I was there yesterday, and when I went, I didn't have cash because I thought I was going to use the machine.
Yeah.
And I said, I don't have cash for 2 buckets. And he said, swipe your card twice, no balls will come out, and then I'll give you 2 buckets.
We've been working around.
So I mean, it worked, but it was not perfect.
It hasn't been what I wanted to be, but I do, we paid $3,000.
That's what I mean. It's a new machine, right?
And it's been a fight back and forth, but they finally agreed that it was a lemon. They gave us new cards.
All right, good.
Thurman, Pete, pseudo mechanic, is gonna put in the new card.
They just couldn't give you a new machine. It's just...
Well, so it's basically a very simple machine.
Okay.
It's a metal box with innards in it. Yeah.
Okay.
They tried, literally, we troubleshot 8 or 9 different things, like trimming a pin in there that they thought the coins were hitting. Whatever, long story short, they agreed something was wrong with the motherboard. They gave us a new motherboard, so I'm hopeful that going forward we'll be able to.
Okay.
So now my question to you is, you know how like you buy something at the store and you put it together and not them? Are they still liable if this second one doesn't work? Versus having them come
I
out?
think they understand that they gave us a crappy.
They send you new.
Yeah, no.
Pete mechanic, Peter's mechanic.
Yeah, there's a break the warranty is what you're saying.
No, I think we're still under warranty.
Okay.
I think we're good.
Okay.
I think
Well,
we're good.
maybe confirm that before we have people digging into it, just to make sure.
No,
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure it is.
I will though.
Should be, we're just.
Yeah.
They've been
Yeah, but if we put it
decent,
together.
but I leaned on them and they finally came out. I mean, I leaned and leaned, they don't really have a tech. They finally sent a tech and they agreed, well, we don't really, basically they said, we don't know why it's not working. But the only thing it could be is this.
Yeah, right.
And they gave us a new one, but I agree with what you're saying, but I do think they will back their product. They're a reputable company. But it's been frustrating on my end. I thought this was an easy. And
what about the
we
rest
spent
of
the money and
The rest of the drive-in range.
oh, that's a whole nother item.
I know.
It went out to bid, we got some bids back.
Okay.
We have a meeting in a month, 1 week from today, hopefully, Prue, with the vendor, where we're
Hopefully.
gonna go over some pricing,
Yeah.
and hopefully we can get it to go forward. But it is moved down the road since our last meeting, for sure.
Well, you can do it in the middle of the winter and
That's what we're hoping.
No, right.
That
Most
would be
of the
an
ones
idea.
that they did, were done in
the Northeast,
January.
It could work out perfectly. We need, a discussion over pricing, but I'm still hopeful we can get it done.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, these things in life, you gotta keep fighting. And we're gonna keep fighting until we get that thing done. Right, bro? We're gonna keep fighting. Yeah.
All right, anything else for Bob?
So was this the last outing of the year, do we have any more?
No, we have one more.
One more.
Monday.
And that, will
Next Monday.
how many, what, will that be?
I think the next one will make it officially 14.
Oh, 14.
Yeah.
yeah,
Which is
there's,
really good. We've done really well.
Yeah.
The amount of money, I'm gonna have a number for you. I've asked all the audience to come back and say what we've raised, and
Oh, okay.
I think it's awesome.
Right.
The
It's just a great showcase, though.
The
to have all
committee's
those
done
people
great.
come in.
Oh, I can tell you, to a person, even all the guys that were here today, Pete Credit are just raving about the golf course, and the facility and how we run events.
Good.
It's, that's a good thing,
Yeah.
almost to the point where we might have to think about, how many is too many, you know, I mean.
Well, do you
How many
remember
total
that we originally got tapped with 20 if
20.
they wanted?
Yeah,
20 is a lot.
We had
It's like every Monday, basically.
Yeah.
14 yesterday?
Yeah.
What do you think is the right number?
I think we're adequate. I like the group we have.
Two or three, yeah. That's right. Mhm.
I don't know. That's
Yeah,
kind of up to you all.
20 is a
It's like
lot.
every Monday.
Yeah.
And I don't think they knew when they actually said that to us, how many 20 would actually be.
It would go from
Building
20.
committee, the building committee.
Well, what they did was when they went in for the funding, they said this new clubhouse will come up with 20, and so that was part of the budget. I put 20 outings.
Which is so unreasonable.
We had 3 the year
Yeah,
before.
exactly.
Yeah, right,
So,
yeah.
Yeah, the interest is strong.
all right.
What it does do, it makes the weekly pass kind of a joke, because a week now is only 3 days, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday.
The 4-day pass.
The 40.
It's a 4-day pass, so it's only usable on basically 3 days. Because Friday, most of the summer, is not a weekday,
Right.
and Monday now will be a lot of outings.
Except a lot of them aren't the whole day, right, Bob?
Well, so we thought about, last year, we talked about, I thought the break even was 128 players, so roughly like $8,300 of an average Monday. So when they're above 128, we'll close the course below 128. Like today, we ran like 60 players before the outing,
Mhm.
and then 120. Those are actually the best days.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
sure.
Yeah, I've heard that you've done a really good job.
Yeah, I'm trying to
Yeah,
get
yeah.
people out there when I can.
Yeah.
And thanks to him for, it puts a little tax on poor people.
There's a lot of people on the course.
They were cutting the greens in the dark this
So I was
morning.
gonna say, because they had the 703.
Yeah, he said it was dark.
Well, I was gonna.
Yeah.
They went on the
It was a little dark. It was a little dark.
They went out to 658?
It was a little dark.
When you look at our data for rounds, if 120 people play in an outing, does that count in that data as a round?
Yeah, I type it in, and I've also, I've got it to the point where I'm splitting it, so our cart revenue is in there too, so
Also-
that we're getting really good numbers. I don't think it
Yeah,
was
the
being
card
done like
revenue
that.
has been very good.
Yeah, I thought it was fair to include cart revenue, they were all taking carts to fill on green fees or skew those numbers a little bit. So this year I made it a point to, you know, when I typed in the revenue from outings to break it out, carts and green fees, so that we'd have a good feel.
That makes sense.
What's going on there? Besides that, I think, to Pete's credit, the course has been great. I'm getting rave reviews. Beautiful. No doubt it's wet.
Yeah, I'm doing, the one place I noticed was 18 at the bottom on the right-hand side there. Did somebody go over that with a cart when they weren't supposed to, or?
Well,
Oh, you mean way down on the right there?
Yeah, I think it was.
Yeah. And then he lined it up and they still drive down there.
Oh, my gosh, it was, I happened to hit the ball there.
Well, that was one area, I think it's gonna run water.
Oh, my goodness.
So I just wanted
There
to,
were, there was so many tire
Job
marks.
security, I
It
think,
was
is up.
ridiculous. And they're all underwater.
And is it blocked off?
It is, he's got it all white, yellow stakes and.
Yeah.
People just sometimes turn it on.
but talking about the course, I would like to bring up something that Priscilla's brought up a couple times. So I've played twice in the last week. In my opinion, the ladies' tees on 6 is dangerous. Both times we were on the tees, they are hitting, and it's not their fault. I hit it over there too. But it's honestly dangerous. If we can't find a way to safeguard the ladies at the tees, the forward tees, excuse me, we need to move them back. Because their balls are coming right at you and you don't see them. You have nowhere to go except backwards.
Off 10.
Then,
Yeah,
no, they're off 10
They're
and
off.
we're on 6
Yeah.
with the
Oh,
forward tees.
Yeah.
We've been out, my wife and I have had lunch out here 2 or 3 times. I'm not like Karen's watch, and sure enough, and no one yelled for.
No.
Well, they did, I
No,
mean,
Well,
they
maybe,
have
but
yelled.
I watched.
but we
no,
need
but-
to, we need to. I'm telling you,
Yeah,
it is
yeah, that's right, you
scary.
can't
I
really
agree.
see people,
Yeah.
that's true.
But what can we do? We need solutions, because I know you've brought it up a number of times, like, what are the solutions? We could put a sign up, don't hit if you see people on forward tees, that's a cheap fix. Do we put a screen up, or do we move them back? I don't know what to do.
The screen is, the screen is safety, but it's an awful solution. It's
Yeah.
ugly and it's gonna block the tee shots off of, the back tees, you know, the.
Right.
That's the base safety, catches birds too. It's gonna fill up the birds.
Right.
Yeah.
So if the screen's not an answer, what is? What are
Can you
other
move
thoughts?
it? Is there a spot?
Can you put trees up there? Yeah, put a bush.
Yeah, but an oak
yeah.
here is not, is that,
What if
that's
we put it
what
I personally think there's pretty good coverage there. I know no one's got hit.
There's a lot of trees.
No, people have, a couple people.
One lady got hit, they should have known.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's good.
What if we
but
put
I
it on
think
the other
key is-
side?
But I think, but it's more important that when I'm out there, I don't wanna be there. I feel
So
like,
you're playing on Wednesday morning, on Thursday morning, ladies.
and I played 1 o'clock.
Yeah, so on
both
ladies'
times.
day, it's not an issue, because you have nobody playing
Right.
the men's team.
Right.
So our average lady, forward team players on weekends is like 5%. So I'm not saying it's not dangerous, don't get me wrong.
But it's not there.
But I don't see it as a gigantic thing. I do think if we.
I don't know,
put one more
I
rope
think
over
if the
there-
men had to stand up there, it would be a gigantic
Well, I
issue.
think
Just because it's a small part of the population, doesn't mean it should be
Well, what do you
ignored.
think? What do you wanna do then? I mean.
I don't
Yeah,
know,
what's the solution?
I would move them back. Do you think
I
that they're
don't know what
dangerous?
the solution is, but I
Can you
think
move
it
that
is a
hill?
problem.
Bob, can we put
And
the
we're
tree on the
nervous.
other side of the fairway?
If we go
They
down
have
the
to blast into the
hill,
hill.
then no one's
Have
gonna
to
know
what?
we're down
Blast into
there.
the
And
hill.
also, yes,
Right?
really, it's closer to there, right?
I don't know, I'm open to any suggestions.
I think.
I don't play, so I trust your opinion.
What about more screening?
Even though I want you to feel
Like,
uncomfortable.
you know, hedges or something that would, you know, again, I'm trying to think of like a middle ground, although maybe that's actually worse, because then the people on the tee box can't see.
Can't see them.
Yeah, well,
And if we move
they wouldn't
down the
yell.
hill
they wouldn't
more,
yell, that's right.
it's gonna be worse, because then the people are behind you trying to hit aren't gonna know you're there.
Right.
Well, no, from the tees
From
on
the
6, you
from the
can
10.
see anybody.
No, if we moved
If
them
it's
down,
over the hill.
yeah, then they wouldn't
Then
know.
then you really.
Right?
Yeah, but
Then
you
it's
know,
like
but
11.
if, right, if you don't wanna move forward anymore. If you wanna move backward or.
Unless you make it a park.
We could move halfway up the hill, but then you're hitting
But
up the
what if we
hill.
put a whole row of trees, make like a
It's
hedge?
not really the line
I hate
drive.
the idea of moving the tee box, if we just put it in, but
Yeah.
But
you
there
can
have been
move it
enough
to the middle of the
people-
fairway.
There have been enough people where we've had, quite a few close calls. And again, you're right.
It's all over the course, so.
Yeah, but there's close calls all the time, right? I
No,
mean,
but this in particular.
But you're standing in line, in the way,
Yeah.
it's different than when you're normally on the course. Like, you are in a line where
Up to
many
10
people.
feet?
Yeah.
Do you know how many
The line
people,
is 80 yards from.
do you know how many
Yeah,
people hit
that's
over
way
there?
out course.
Tell me how many people hit over
A
there.
lot. I agree, I would agree with Christina, we're the ones that are playing.
So just move it back to, if you want to do it, just take the one tee and put it back there, you know? Or you can, women or forward tee players can choose, if they feel dangerous, play the two.
You can't do that, because you have a
Why?
card.
Well, we can change the rating. Instead, we can do another rating.
Can we go out and look at it and just say, okay?
Oh, I've looked at it
let's
100
come up
times,
with
there's 3 big
Yeah.
trees that they do a pretty good job.
Yeah, they are.
There's 3 big trees that are only
When
getting bigger.
we relocated it, we stood there and said, look.
And USDA said, this
Yeah, but
is- the USDA literally said, this is perfect.
Yeah.
I know, and I agree with you, in theory, but I've seen a lot of balls.
No, I understand what you're saying, there's definitely misses are going over there. I don't know the answer.
Yeah, I don't know the answer either, I'm just trying to come up with like things I've seen in other courses.
And it would be nice to keep it natural, whatever, I mean,
I'm
if it
saying
was,
screens
if
are
it's,
awful.
right, a screen, I agree, but if it's something that maybe, you're right, more plantings, I don't know, evergreens, maybe, I don't know what the answer would be.
But you don't need a fence, Peter. What you really need is some of that black netting, just enough to catch a ball. You don't have to put fence posts in and all that kind of stuff to provide protection.
black netting too.
Hmm?
Yeah, that's a problem.
black netting too.
I wonder if you could spring it between those trees. Attach it to the
I think
tree.
that would look so ugly though, right?
Oh, it's so
The
fine.
black
You
netting
can't
is
even
hard to
see
see.
it. You can't even see
Yeah.
it.
Really?
It'll last about 2.5 weeks, that's when guys go right through.
Well, it can get torn down, yeah, if it's not metal fencing.
But I agree with Christine, I think we need to, look at some solutions to that.
Well, I'm happy to walk it too, I mean,
Okay.
I don't have an answer right now.
Right. More definitely.
We knew when we put it there that it was gonna be.
Right, and we just put it there.
Suspect.
All right, why don't we all look at it, and then talk about it again next meeting, and come up with some options, if the best option is a screen, then that's the best option.
Bob, is that pole gonna stay, as far as you know, a par 5 for the forward when it's re-rated?
Why wouldn't it?
I just wondered if it was enough
Oh,
distance.
absolutely. So far I've heard of 1 eagle this year. You know of any others?
No,
I heard 1 eagle, which is amazing.
On 6?
Yeah, for late, forward players. Did you make one yet? And you're a long ball hitter. You're a long hitter.
Yeah.
Have you had an eagle?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, I think, I looked at the golf genius data, and it's
I have birdied it.
averaging well over par still.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well over.
I birdied it and I doubled it. So without a doubt,
I think it's great.
yeah. me too.
But it's just, I don't play it.
And I love the 8, and
And I'm
I
interested to see
I think
what
the
they
real
do.
I still
solution is
get
if we
beat
could
up
move
over
the
that.
tee
You play
box
the
to the
scramble
other
field.
side.
Yeah.
Because the
I
tee
think
box
the guys
is
play
here
it.
on top of the hill.
Yeah.
We had a way of
Because then you're
moving it
blasting into
here,
the
Do they love it?
but if we moved it way over, the
I love
chances of a ball coming near us would go
You
down.
mean on top of the hill?
Yeah, stay where it
That's
is,
what I was
so
saying,
I know,
Rob,
obviously
put it on the
that's
other
a lot
side of the
easier
fairway.
said than done. But if we could go all the way to the other side of the
Like
hill,
this.
yeah,
To the right, by
To the right.
by the trees.
right, because that way, I mean, those would be really,
Okay,
on
the hill
the course.
But then you're
But
hitting.
you're hitting.
The hill goes like this over there.
No, you stay on top of the hill, just go across, so
Right.
you're not
So
near
that's-
them, you're
you mean
moving
level it.
further
Right
away
next
from
to
them.
that, right across
But
the.
it's,
Yeah,
It
go
goes like this, yeah.
Go to the
It's
top of
not
the hill and
perfect.
level it.
Let's look at it. Let's-
Yeah.
yeah, let's look
That's
at it.
okay.
I mean, it's ledge, it might be something you can just break away with a backhoe. To get enough.
In all our spare time,
Yeah, it's worth looking at,
I've got all
absolutely.
2 of my guys.
It's a concern for sure. I
Okay.
agree.
Yeah. I mean, I don't want, more importantly, I'm less concerned about the number of hits. If every time you go up to the tee box, you're nervous.
Yeah, we don't want it to feel.
Right, that's, I mean, like, that's probably more important than if we've only had 1 or 2
We
hits.
are very cognizant and we make sure that we look to. see
Yeah,
if
we're
there's
looking,
anything
that's what we do, we're
Right,
looking back,
the other group, the
right,
rest of the group has to be turned around.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, right. Yeah, we could put up like portable, like, shields, where the rest of the foursome holds the shields.
A big light.
Sit in your cart.
That's right.
You protect it in your cart.
I just saw her.
We're out like,
All right, anything else for Bob right now?
no,
All right, Anthony, you're up.
Wake up.
All right, everybody should have received the numbers from September. As you can tell, numbers were down, primarily due to weather. So that's kind of been our driving force as to why we're behind this fiscal year from last. So I'm chasing about $60,000 right now at Smith. Hopefully we'll be able to extend the season a little bit with the weather and make up some of that ground before we get to the spring. As requested, you should have also received two other reports I put together. One of them is Golf Report Fiscal 23 End of Year. That was what was presented to the Board of Finance a couple of weeks ago, but which was after our last meeting. You'll see overall expenses on the Smith side, we spent $60,000 over our budget. but in return, we made on the revenue side $120,000, so we netted out just a little over $60,000 over our budgeted allotment. You'll see those numbers there on the left-hand side. The total actual revenue over the budgeted amount and spent amount was $585,000. So another really good year for us. And as you can see, Carl Dickman's numbers are right below that. Had a great end of 23 as well. And then for the Q1 report, one thing that I have to say to you guys, the revenue numbers are spot on as far as Q1. We don't normally look at expenses this way, but since you guys requested it, this is what we have. Just for an example, if you look at the regular payroll line, you'll see that the entire amount is already spent. That's because it's encumbered. So a lot of those lines that you're looking at, you won't have a true sense for. But it does give you an idea of where we are. So I will happy to answer any questions if there are any.
I have two, Anthony. First of all, thank you for this. I'm the guy that was pestering you for it, and I appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem.
The Boca concession number I see here, the agreement is any revenue over $2 million, we get an additional 2%. Since there's no entry here, can I assume they did not make the $2 million bogey for the year?
They did not make it for our fiscal year for 23, but they're on a calendar year, so we still might make it this year. I have not checked in with them. I want to say the last time I did check in, they were I think around 1.7 is where they were looking like they were going to finish, but
okay.
I'll have to check in with Yanni. But
okay.
I know
Second
we're going to be
question,
close.
just as curiosity, what is the debt burden annually for the clubhouse?
That is not captured in here, but it is, I believe,
no, I know
somewhere
that,
in the, yeah, I believe it's in the $500,000 range.
That's what we had talked about before. So basically what we're saying, even when you burden the golf course with the clubhouse, it still operates close to even, if not in the black.
That's correct.
Which is
And I think that bond financing number, but Andy, correct me if I'm wrong, there's more in it than just the clubhouse.
Oh, yeah.
Right, so those bonds went out
Oh,
and
yeah.
covered more. Yeah, so that number is probably even a little bit smaller.
Yeah.
Again, I mean, I don't know.
The biggest hunk is
Well,
Yeah, right, absolutely.
yeah.
The club, the overall portion is around 500 and something thousand, but that includes the clubhouse over 20 years. It includes the last 10 years worth of, the $100,000 we were getting to view.
Yeah, the previous 10 years
as well.
right.
Right. So all those numbers are built into that one number, and again, I think it's in the $500,000 range.
Okay.
No, that means the course is doing well, right? It's paying for itself, and it's paying for the improvements, it's paying for everything.
Yeah,
correct. Correct.
Even though they don't do it that way, right?
Yeah.
And that's, the town looks at it like, right now.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right. Good. Thank you very much, Anthony.
You're welcome.
All right, anything else for Anthony? Mr. Grace, you're up.
Well, as you know, we're getting a lot of rain, probably forcing people out on me on the golf course.
We got a car path all around the beach.
I know, which can maybe be done, that's another issue, you always go there now, but, no, everything's going good, it's just, we talked about moving tees, this and that, and I already did it once, at 18th fairway, I gotta get in, do something with that, but right now, I just can't get in, it's too wet. Got trees come down at 16, and they can't get in there, can't get machinery in there, so a lot of things been put on hold. All we're doing is trying to keep up with the grass has been growing like crazy.
Yeah.
Leaves are falling now, so, we just, every morning get it, and the place is packed. So we're trying to do the best we can, get the rough up and everything else. The guy's doing a great job, he's Eddie, can't thank these guys enough.
What is the optimal colored ball on a leafy day?
Great question, it depends.
The ball that's in the fairway?
Depends if you get towards the
those. I haven't had that
Right, what are
experience.
those?
Depends if you head towards Maples or Oaks.
Exactly, it depends what leaves.
Oh, but
You
go
should
by
start
with blower,
like
like seven,
one of
like
those little individual blowers, so you can put in your golf bag and just
Oh, yeah.
blow the air.
It's actually illegal.
Is it
They're
really?
not allowed to have a machine team for the PGA rules with you and alter the course.
See you back.
Hubba does it all the time.
You call.
You did a good job, the leaves, though. I thought the leaves were actually,
It's so hard to.
but they're coming down pretty heavy right now.
You can't keep up, especially with the rain.
I know, the rain kills us.
And those little woolly birds we catch on the ball, you see the little, little
Yeah.
stripe, and it's
There's
like,
so many on the
don't
green.
convert it, cut it
On
on
the
the
screen.
screen.
Yeah.
Place is pretty good shape for all the weather we've had, and we're just going forward, got a lot to do. Still at 16. But,
Can you do the cart path over the winter? I mean, the asphalt plant's closed, right?
yeah, well, I want to get the, I got really, I want to rip up the old stuff that's all crap and drop it off
Right.
there on 16 and 7,
Yeah.
And then,
and put down some, I got that old road mix up at the, shop right now, but just haven't got a chance to get up there with the weather.
so your primary focus is 16 and 17?
7.
On 7? Oh, yeah, good, okay.
Yes.
All right.
Good work.
All right, moving on. Greens Committee, kind of talked about all that.
Well, as we talked about, for the weather that we've had, Peter, you and you guys have done a phenomenal job. The course looks great. I mean, I know you're gonna take care of 18, and I know you said that we're all the tees for the 4 tees are all eaten away. You're gonna take care of that also. Besides that, I mean, you can't complain. None of this is your fault. Your guys are doing a great job, so.
Thanks. Looks good.
All right. Par 3,
I haven't played.
I haven't played it since the last one. Again, my daughter's on the Tomlinson team, and
I've
she's
been
there
down
all
there.
the time.
Phenomenal.
Yeah.
Connie Johnson is doing phenomenal.
Yeah, it's good. I played 4 lanes. Great part of the family.
It really is.
Melanie was gonna call you and complain. So Tomlinson was playing a match against St. Thomas,
Mm-hmm.
and they had tee times, and so Maeve had a tee time at 3:30. She got there at 3:10, and the groups something got screwed up, so they were sending out groups early, so they sent Maeve's group out early, and she had to start on hole 2. And Melanie was like, somebody should stop this. And I said, it's not Bob, so don't call Bob.
It's a life lesson.
Yeah.
I mean, not everything's gonna be.
Not everything's gonna go great.
You gotta stay calm and adjust.
She had to tee off on 2. But anyways, they have a great shot. Yeah.
That course is real.
Yeah.
I mean, the finances are there.
It's always busy. It's always busy.
We are really doing great with junior golf down there. I don't
Yeah.
know if you guys understand, what's really going on there. We stay right now down there. We have about 60 kids every day,
Really.
every day.
Just coming after school, they
St.
come
Thomas in the middle school.
Oh, yeah, it's awesome.
St. Thomas, when I started, had 7 kids, and they were at 3.
Townsend had cuts this year. Townsend had cuts. I mean, that is
Wonderful. You guys, I appreciate your support.
Yeah, it's great to be with us.
That's on you, Bob.
You watch the high school teams and the forward thing, overtime, it's gonna work.
Proper etiquette.
Yeah, we're trying, we're trying,
Well, last month when I played the par 3, I told you how
We're
good
trying.
the juniors were.
we're trying.
Yeah,
To me, that's more important than what they shoot.
Absolutely,
They know
I
what's their
agree.
bag,
It's
and
learning, it's learning how to carry
Change
yourself.
of play and not screwing around,
it's really wonderful.
especially middle school boys, you know what?
It's the
Tough
boy.
age.
Good place for them to be.
It's the boy.
I raised a couple of those.
Dave and I were so impressed, so impressed.
It's really,
That's fun.
it's really good.
All right, moving on to new business. I think you guys all got the letter, from Chris Flowers, who's here to talk about junior race and some of the ideas he had. So, the one and only Chris Flowers.
Yeah, thank you, Keith. Thank you all for letting me speak tonight, too. For those of you that don't know me, my name's Chris Flowers. I've been playing golf here since I was 12. I started the par 3, I guess, when I was 10. When I was here 12, there was a really active junior program here. The men's club sponsored the whole junior program. There was an upwards of 100 kids back then. I played every day here in the summer. I dropped off at 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. And I believe Sean Gary was the pro at the time, correct, Bob?
Right.
Yeah. And a lot of leagues, it was like a member, junior club championship, all that kind of stuff. It was really fun, and it made me love the game. And since then, Bob has played a big part in that when he was here. And since I was 12, Bob's been a great mentor to me, and I probably wouldn't be where I am today in this game if it wasn't for it. So thank you, Bob, for that. I then went on to, after I got back to the military, I went on to turn professional. I played professional golf for about 5 years. I kind of gave that up and I became an amateur again, and I rejoined the golf club here. And I'm now on the board of governors. I'm now the chairman of the junior golf committee. My whole point of kind of telling you guys that bio there is that junior golf paved the path for my future. They are the future of this game. And I feel like I'm a prime example of that. Now that I'm the junior golf chair, I do have a few goals. One is to increase our junior membership in the golf club here. Both men, and I would even like to see some female juniors join the women's associations as well. I want to have some summer leagues like there used to be when I was here, and just a lot more junior events. We had a very, very successful parent-child event this year. I know Keith played in it, and I think we had almost 90 people out there.
Yeah.
It was really great. We got some great emails, like it was the first time my kid played 18 holes, and this is the greatest day of my life, blah, blah, blah. Some really great emails. So I want to have a lot more of that. Here's the issue, though. I want, Keith, I don't know, did you pass out those numbers right?
Oh, no, I'm sorry.
Having kind of looked at some of the local area golf courses, actually first, I'll give you guys a second to take a look at that. I pulled some reports from the gym. I actually forgot to ask Bob to pull the town reports for me, from our, like all the junior golf non-residents.
Right.
So this is just, the gym reports from the ladies club, the men's club, the FSGA, the seniors. So the roster right now for the men's club is 455 players. Right now the FSGA is 152 players. The ladies club, the 9 and 18 holders combined, have 214 members, and the juniors only have 9. So currently, juniors only make up 1.1% of our gym memberships at this golf course. As far as rounds posted from all of our clubs here, there was 18,494 rounds between 9 and 18 holes played by adults. Only 60 rounds were played by juniors.
Up here.
Up here.
Yeah.
Of all the clubs. Of all the members, so this is just gym reports.
I see, yeah, that's not non-members.
Correct.
Yeah.
I don't have access to that stuff, so that's why I wasn't able to pull
Okay.
that.
It's 60 rounds.
I'm hoping maybe those reports can get pulled down the road at some point, but,
That's what I mean.
so it's a little over 800 memberships up here between the ladies, the seniors, and the men's club.
Yeah.
There's only 9 juniors. So my point is that only 0.32% of rounds posted to gin were by juniors. To me, that's absolutely embarrassing when you look at those numbers. Here's the reason why. If you look at our rates compared to all the local rates, Ashua, Fairchild Wheelers, the courses I use, our rates are ridiculously high. I know of many, I'm at Ashua all the time, I'm over at the wheel sometimes. There's so many Fairfield kids that don't play here because of the cost to play here. And it's really turning them away. And we're losing a lot of Fairfield kids to those places. And that's why I really haven't been successful trying to increase our junior membership. Until we can align our rates with the local courses, such as Ashua and the Wheel, it's just going to be really, really hard to get kids to play here. And we're really just hurting the future of the game. So all I'm asking is that this commission revisits the junior rates going forward and just try to align them more properly with the local rates.
Do we know, what are our junior rates now?
Well, here's
I couldn't find them. What are they,
the weekday adult rate is $30 for 18 holes. The weekday senior rate is $5 less, and the weekday junior is $10 less on a weekday. But on weekends, it's $35 for a resident adult, $35 for a senior, and only $34 for a junior. So that
If they have the ID.
If you live in
if they have an
Easton,
ID, yeah.
if you live 1 mile up in Easton or Westport, it's $59 as a kid to here, even at 4 o'clock.
What age those juniors come?
18 months.
Under 18, right? Yeah.
So, what I will tell you guys, what you don't, I kind of wanted to not step on Bob's toes here, but I know the Wheel and Patio have a really good junior pass for the whole year. They pay about $400 to $500 for the entire year, and they don't pay anything.
Wow, that's interesting.
So that's not my job to find out. I don't know what the right cost is.
They had the whole
but
first seat thing there that they
Yeah.
started many years ago. And
So it's basically, all I'm asking is you guys just revisit that, look at those, and just try to align those a little bit better with the other.
No, and I actually did some research after we had gotten your email, and I also looked at Sterling, Oak Hills, and E.G. Drennan in Stamford, and I also saw that we were a lot higher. They all had junior rates.
They have bigger gaps. That's what I
Big
noticed.
gaps.
They got the
Yeah,
gaps.
big
We don't
gaps.
have much of a gap.
We don't have a gap.
Yeah.
I mean, the weekday we have a gap.
Yeah,
Right, we
But
do,
the
but not on
weekend, we do
weekend.
not.
And the weekend, by the way, is Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, don't
Correct.
forget.
I mean,
So
$59 walking for 18 holes for a junior.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous,
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a lot.
Like ours,
Yeah.
Chores.
Well, Bob, I know you looked at some of this too. and what your
I
thoughts?
told all the local clubs too, and I had a similar thought to it.
Do we go over rates in general and?
Yeah.
So we have a rate,
Yeah.
so maybe next month, I'll get us some intel, some
Next month.
details,
Yeah.
going, this is what people are charging. and-
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, 'cause it's
I did
perfect
it for
timing.
myself, but I didn't do it.
It's good timing.
Yeah, the next one, we
Yeah.
do rates again.
Right.
And I took pictures of
Let's
all
take a
of
look
them
at it.
on that, so I have that information right here too.
Yeah, because I think if we could look at and again, to Chris's point, I don't think this is actually, unfortunately, is not gonna make a huge difference in the numbers, because we have so few junior rounds right now. The goal here is to increase those junior rounds, to get more of those, so that it has a bigger impact.
And the only caveat to that is that adults can't get. Now you're gonna throw juniors into
Valid
it
point,
too, and, yeah,
valid
I mean, I don't know.
It's definitely a struggle
What we can
to,
do.
I mean, but if we don't pay attention to the juniors, we won't have those adults who
We have
That's
to,
my whole
we
idea.
absolutely have to.
Yeah.
Right.
What I will say is, what I will say is Cashua and the Wheel, for those passes that they do restrict weekends, like after noon or
Well,
after
that's what the
1.
point I was gonna.
Which I would be
bring up.
totally fine
Yeah.
with, but I just think it's ridiculous that somebody who lives in Easton has to, at 4 o'clock, has to pay $59.
I mean, I think it would be a great idea, especially in the afternoon, give them an incentive to come out and play. I mean, yeah.
But it's a slippery slope because we don't offer Easton residents, adults.
Right.
If you live a mile down the road and you're an Easton taxpayer, you don't get a break here.
Yeah, I don't necessarily
Right.
know if I agree with, okay, we've got to service the Easton juniors, I'd like to service our Fairfield juniors.
Right.
The Wheel and Cashua, their junior passes, it's not resident, it's just juniors.
Yeah, but
Oh,
the
it's
wheel
It's
is,
resident and non-resident.
but the
Yeah,
wheel
but
is in
they're
the
all,
Fairfield
they
Club.
have 36 holes, Nashville has 27 holes.
But if we lowered it, a lot of Easton players play here at Smith, right? So if we lowered it for the juniors, maybe they'll come with a parent, and the parent will pay the rate, and the junior can get that for a lot cheaper. We'll get more people there.
Yeah, but again, I care more about the Fairfield kids.
Yeah, but it's worth like their course in a way, right? So maybe we think about that.
But we can work on even though what Priscilla's saying, right? I mean, we can look at the junior rates with the golf ID, encourage more golf IDs, get that rate down a little bit, and get more of the Fairfield kids playing on the Fairfield course.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's not a bad solution.
We tried to get juniors in FSCA, but you gotta be 62.
Yeah.
Or 60.
You guys got enough. Mike, I'll be there one day. I'll be there one day. We'll be 28 years away from that.
Get that gray going now, so you're getting there.
I'm trying to catch up to you.
One of the only ways to do it is the 9 holers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
I mean, the ladies accept juniors in their league, don't they?
I don't think there's an
I
age.
don't think there's one.
Is there an age though?
Not that I know.
I don't think
You didn't
so.
find any in there.
Is there?
Bob, do you have numbers that are just juniors in general, whether they're gen or not gen?
Round plate here?
Yeah.
I don't have it with me, but I
Not
will,
here, but you-
yeah, I will have it, yeah. I'll get us I'll go through all the local public courses, get them rates, all get them to you guys, and then pull round plays. And
Yeah, that's what I want to know. How many junior rates did we sell?
I'll take it.
You know, resident, not
Next
resident.
rate thing,
Yeah.
I think that's the appropriate time to.
Because that 60 number here and that 0.32% is based on 9 juniors.
And that's based also on rounds posted, so.
Yeah, oh, yeah, right.
Not that most.
I don't think the numbers
Some
are
of them
gonna
don't
match.
have gyms.
That was just to give you guys.
No, no, it's a good
Yeah.
idea,
But it's a great
I can vote.
Is what that is.
I can vote.
That's
No,
perfect.
I appreciate the visual.
Yeah, it's a great sampling.
Yeah.
But my point basically, the bigger point there is that only 9 of the 800 plus people
Yeah.
that are in membership here are juniors. That number should be.
Is Max a member?
Is that-
You know?
Max is one of the 9.
All right.
Yeah.
So he's got to
Tournament
count
kids,
for-
the kids that play in tournaments are
That should
required
be
to have.
100.
Yeah, right.
Well,
It should be 100 to 800.
That's what you got, tournament players are required to have a handicap, so.
Okay. We get more juniors than that. How do you
Yeah,
play? 'Cause I
yeah.
just played.
But,
Kids that
but
get gin,
we are-
like, they come off and you,
Kids
No,
can
they play,
but
they
you
don't
don't
need a gym handicap.
no, I know you don't need to play, but maybe if you get a gin, they kind of.
No, we want them to get, we want them to.
Yeah.
No, we want them.
Yeah,
No, that's what I'm saying.
yeah.
We didn't encourage that, I'll let Brian.
Yeah, yeah, go ahead.
So our club, we were called Events Club, but we're not. Our
Yeah.
official title is the club. So all members, all gender, are invited to our club.
Interesting. Okay.
I didn't know that.
Including all ages, right?
Sure, yeah.
We decided as a club that anyone under the age of 18 can join for free. So and with that comes the benefit of getting that gym.
The gym number.
And that's a good selling point.
Yeah, that's a great-
I thought that was gonna sell it this year, but the problem again was,
It wasn't up there.
it's, I don't, as a parent, I'm not a parent, but if I was a parent, I'd rather send my kid to the wheel for $400 for the year than come here and pay $33 every time.
But where do all the high schoolers play? I mean, all the,
They don't play for wheel.
The wheel,
Really?
They play here for school, because for school.
Yeah, right.
but they also play at the wheel because they can get tea time.
True.
That's why, they go up,
You
they
can
go
always,
up.
you can always get
Costs of like, $10 a round.
Right,
Yeah.
right,
Yeah,
and they
that's a
play 18 and they go around and play more and watch,
Right.
that's what they do.
All right, this is great. I think, yeah, Bob, if you want to make a
Yeah,
proposal.
I'll make a good effort there.
Yeah, I think what we're hearing is that there's
I
support.
appreciate it, Chris. I really do.
Yeah, thank you
Yeah,
very
this
much.
Thanks for letting me,
Thanks for
work
pushing
that
it.
out.
It was a good idea.
Absolutely.
All right. Moving on, I lost my agenda.
Tea time reservation.
Oh, tea time reservation. So this one's interesting. So, we haven't had a lot of issues, I think, with, bots or algorithms, and Bob can kind of talk about it, but we did run into a scenario recently where it looked like maybe we had one. And then when Bob and I were looking at the rules, we didn't have anything in the rules about, it was just silent. Again, I think the flavor is that, you shouldn't be setting up an algorithm that automatically grabs open tea times as soon as they open. But we didn't have any, so we thought let's fill that gap here. And again, trying to make things as fair as possible for everybody, so that it's not, somebody doesn't create a program that the second, at 5000, it just grabs multiple tea times. Like if I grab a tea time, I'm blocked out from grabbing another tea time within 4 hours or whatever, right? It's 4 hours, I think. These programs get around that, and they can get 8 tea times back to back to back to back. Then they pick the one they want, they drop the others. So
Really?
that's
evidence of
now.
Not chronic.
Yeah.
So,
That's their goal, but 4-Up has some protections, and then we did run into one scenario, we didn't think that this was happening, but then, and Bob, you want to
but
talk about
there
it?
had never been any evidence of it happening. And I'll preface this by, Up is still saying that their bot protection is good.
Mhm.
One gentleman in town is exactly what happened. Boca had an outing on Monday. They decided that Sunday at 3 o'clock, the weather was gonna be crap. They canceled it. So I said, well, there might be some people that'll play.
Put it out there.
So I opened the tee sheet and one guy's name went like this. Right down the sheet.
Wow.
Okay, I happen to know the gentleman, because I coach him. So I called him right up, I'm like, dude, what is going on? He goes, oh, I wrote an algo. Oh, you wrote an algo? I said, yeah, I looked at the rules, there's no rules.
That's right.
So that's when I said to Keith, well, we need a rule.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think he's an extreme outlier? I do. But I do think having defense to say, if you do use help, we can pull your right to,
Right.
Yeah.
going forward, and we need to have a ground to stand on.
How
That's
can
a true
we
story.
tell if they're doing it or not?
That is one of a kind, it blew my mind.
Yeah.
But the guy happens to be in that field.
Mhm.
Long story short, he wrote the programming for, what's the defunct, Bitcoin company, FX or whatever?
Oh,
Yeah.
Bitcoin,
He wrote all the back, made himself a point,
The guy that
retired to Fairfield. So 4-up wasn't a problem for him, but.
You got around probably.
Yeah, but I didn't believe that you go that far to get the key time either, but that made me think, well, we need the defense here.
Yeah.
Do I
We
think,
need-
people are using bots? Maybe.
So I went online and signed up for a bot, and one of my options of a course to pick was this one.
Really?
Yeah.
What did it cost? What was it
It's
gonna cost?
$9.99 a month.
One hour a month?
A month. So if you want to play golf at Smith Richardson,
bought it?
wouldn't you pay? No, I didn't, because I didn't want to spend the $10.
Oh, I thought it was $990.
But $10,
$10 a month.
even $10 a week.
$10 a month.
It's a deal. So I think you could find these people if you went to 4-up and say, I want to see everybody, anybody who consistently plays every Saturday morning at this time. Because the odds of that actually happening with our
Yeah,
system,
it should be more.
He had looked that up, right, and you can talk about that, it's not the same
Yeah,
person. I think the bigger
Some
one,
people are good at it.
I think there's a lot of people who do it.
but I think what your point is that if you get a bot and you just start grabbing tee times, you have to drop tee times.
Yeah.
And so if somebody who's dropping an inordinate amount of tee times,
I
that's probably another
Maybe.
thing, right? But there's probably multiple
I get
ways
it.
to find it.
Yeah.
You know what's strange? When I got the tee time for next Saturday, I got E24. I know.
You bragger.
The 3 other people in my group got like 11, 12, whatever, but I got the 824. I got a captcha. So
The captcha is,
That's the way
it
it
comes up if
Ever
they
gotten
think
it.
you have a bot.
Oh.
But they
But not
probably
every
have
time.
good bots that get
Like
around the
they've got-
captcha.
Well, 4-up says no, but much like you, I'm doubtful.
Yeah.
I'm doubtful.
But you know, it's funny, because Dave got 833, he was very upset that I got an earlier time. He didn't get a captcha, the other 2
So
get a captcha.
I've talked to them about this, like, why are some people getting captured?
That's the first
Some
time I
people
heard
aren't
that.
getting captured.
Yeah.
Will you go like this?
No, you ready for this?
So that's what they
I
tell me,
go
like,
on
you
at
keep
5
clicking.
o'clock, and 824 came up, that was the only thing on the screen. And
I've heard all
So
this
that's,
stuff.
how could that be?
Yeah, it doesn't make it, that's
That's
so
bot,
weird.
is that so bizarre? But
Yeah.
that's bot
But
that's
literally, it was
happening.
the only time that came up.
Right.
And if you look at.
So
the
even like,
sheet,
I've
it's
studied
at
it,
5
like, even if you
a.m.
say, okay, they're using the bot. There's no difference.
No.
That's what I was gonna say, we could come up with our policy, that's fine, but how do you
catch it?
You gotta catch them.
Stop it.
I haven't been able to figure that out yet, and
Now, does
I'm not
every,
that smart.
Is 4-up a problem then?
4-up says bots don't work.
But as a, but at
They
the beginning,
say,
at least
we have the best, and they do have the best offer, they have everything, AWS.
So does Joshua,
Same, 4-up,
And what do they
same,
say?
4-up, same thing.
have you talked to him?
All the time. We talk about it all the
Does he
time.
think he has bots?
We both, I think people have a knack. I really do.
yeah.
Would you call it
Here's
bots?
what- No, here's what it is.
Yeah.
They take the world clock on this thing,
Yep,
and so they got their phone on the world clock,
yep.
and they got the thing here, and they wait right to 4:59.
And then, boom.
But what do you do?
Yeah, I remember your computer.
Priscilla, you do it. Do you do it at 5 o'clock?
I start pressing.
That's why they thought there was a bot.
4:59.
That's
You
what
know, But
Unfortunately,
I
59.
gave up, it's easier to get a tee time that people throw back.
It
So
should be-
I agree with that.
Here's what we could do, stop throwing back.
Yeah,
We could
Yeah.
limit
When it expires.
their
Yeah.
ability
You
to
can't.
only get 1 tee time per day.
Okay.
You could do that, and 4-up has now got advanced enough to do that.
So
I
what-
currently have it at 2 per day.
So if you went to 1 per day, you
Wait,
couldn't
you get
do
two?
multiple.
you can get.
You guys can help me to do that, I can click the button tomorrow.
But you can't get them within 4 hours though, right?
Yeah, but, yeah.
Why do you think that will help us? Like,
I don't, because I look at the cheat sheet and nobody's got to.
We can't.
Okay, Bob, another question for you.
One guy
How-
does it, I'm like,
How many times do you see the same person getting the same time? Because I've heard, and I don't know if it's true, I get
it's
the
not
same
true,
people
all that,
get.
it's not true. All that stuff you hear about it
Okay.
being rigged and all that,
Yeah, I don't-
it literally, Anthony's still there, he's answered this question over time. So you can look at our cheat sheet and there's a timestamp with every single thing. I can
Right.
run you a report and
Right.
It's as fair as you're gonna get it.
It can't be a perfect science.
I know,
get that.
I understand it, but I promise you, it's as democratic as I think it can
Right.
be.
It's not your fault.
No, I don't think it's my fault at all. I'm fascinated by it.
Yeah.
I'm fascinated by the demand.
Yeah.
I'm fascinated by it. I do think a good solution would be to charge $2 per player if you book a time and you throw it back, like a reservation.
Well, the wheel charges $7
Yeah,
to
they
make,
do.
just to make the reservation, not to give it
A
back.
lot of places do that.
Great idea.
Yeah, that's a good.
I think that would get them a little less than all four guys trying to get
I
it.
don't know if I agree with that,
Well,
because
You just said that you had 4 people going to tea
more
time,
people went going to.
so they must be throwing them
But
back.
if they throw them back, then that opens it up for other people. So I actually don't mind that, so, per se.
I understand.
Or maybe under a certain time, maybe 9 o'clock or early.
Before 11, you're not supposed to throw them back.
Right.
Yeah.
If people throw them back before 11, yes, and then I send them an email saying.
You're 11:30.
I got one of those.
Yeah, I send them an email saying, you know, you're really
Yeah,
not
in the
supposed to
beginning
do
of the
that.
season, I was asking people if they wanted that time, and I told
It's
them.
a lot of work on my side, so I gotta go, I have a report, and then,
Yeah,
I don't know the answer.
But writing a policy, you think is.
I think a policy, then we have a ground.
I think
you gotta have
a
one.
start.
If we
I
can
think
have
that's
a
a start.
meeting, we can go
And
and
then
say,
it highlights to people, hey, don't do this.
Yeah.
And then we can point to
I
something,
can
we
point
catch
to
it
it.
again. But I think the bigger issue is just that again, it highlights to people saying, let's be fair, let's all use the process that's outlined for the tea times.
if people are getting multiple through this algorithm or bot,
I don't see it a lot.
I was gonna say, can you see?
Oh,
if
yeah,
they're
that's,
doing multiple
so
tea times
what I
bot?
do is I print a report that says, cancel tea times before 11 o'clock on Saturday.
Yeah, see who it
And
is.
then, well, you know.
And especially if it's multiple.
And if,
Yeah.
it's, generally if I send an email to them, they'll do it.
Yeah.
Because they're afraid I'm gonna turn them off.
But you have 12 hours after you make the tea time.
Not before 11 o'clock on weekends.
Oh, see, I thought you had 12 hours.
No, they're not supposed to be canceled before 11 on weekends. 4UP doesn't have the sophistication to block that, so you can't do it. So I have to manually say, hey, you weren't supposed to do that.
The old one did that, it wouldn't let you cancel online.
Right,
right,
You had
the
to
old one.
They
call.
don't have it quite yet, but I think by this time next spring,
Yeah, they might have.
they're gonna be there. Because all of us operators are asking them for it. And that, they're getting more sophisticated as we go.
What do they do with Tashuba? I mean, they've got.
Same game.
Yeah, same issue.
See, I don't have a problem with cancel, if you make a tea time, you have time to talk to your people and say, okay, like, we have.
Well, I agree with you, but the rules say you can't do it right now.
For the weekend.
11 o'clock on weekends.
Okay.
You're not supposed to be able to.
See, I don't have a problem with this.
Because they fill, I understand what you're,
Right.
they fill.
You don't have a problem.
But then the
with
guy
doing
was at, so the problem is the guy that's up at 5. You got, people get to time and they don't cancel till 5:30, then the other bottom fishes are there. So they, you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
no, I guess that's fair. Yeah, because I
I
find it,
personally believe no matter what you do, there's gonna be someone with an angle.
yeah.
It's unfortunate, but it's just human nature.
I mean, I definitely am more successful at 5:05 to 5:10, in that range, when you wait for people to start going back. This is just about twice in a row.
What I've learned before is clear your cookies and use Chrome.
Yeah.
Chrome
It
is
sounds
better.
funny,
Yeah,
but clear your cookies.
Chrome is better than Unify.
Okay.
Yeah.
But they still stand by, bots don't work. I don't.
Yeah, it was so strange getting that caption, and then I panicked, and it's like, okay.
I keep asking people that get it all the time saying, are you getting the caption? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I'm curious, like, I asked for, well, can we make it so everybody gets the caption
Yeah.
every time? Because I think that would,
I think that would absolutely work,
I wish they would do it.
and they can't do it.
Not yet. I think that there should be a button saying everyone has to do this.
Yeah,
I think that would help us.
without a doubt.
Well, before we vote on it, Mike had a revision to it because I had a typo in my language where there was a period in the middle of the sentence. But he simplified it. I'll just read it so that everybody can hear it now. And then I'll give this to you. It says.
Thank you.
The use of any computer program, bot, offline reader, and/or site search retrieval application for obtaining a tee time at any golf course in the town of Fairfield is prohibited. Violations of this policy will result in tee time cancellations and a loss of reservation and playing privileges. Our goal is to make the booking process fair to all golfers who wish to play at our courses. That's it.
I accept that wording as addition to our procedure rule.
You need to be specific with anything at the end there?
You need a motion.
Is it a vague, better to then be specific, like you said, like,
So are you saying,
like 2 violations, is?
No, I want to leave it to Bob to make the decision, as to,
That's fine.
what the penalty is. You know, maybe they just lose the tee time versus losing, you know, a month of playing privileges. I think at that point, I would defer to Bob on that, but you guys tell me.
I think we need to have some caveat here, loss of playing privileges. What does that mean? For the year, for the month?
Do you think that we could,
You want to say for the
purposely
club pro or whatever, something like that?
Do you think that we could, instead of,
Now
voting
you're
in
judging
tonight,
jury,
that
Bob.
we
Do you
could
really want
distribute
that?
around and then vote it in next
Yeah, of course,
meeting?
of course.
Then we have time to
We're in no
really
rush.
think about the words.
Yeah, we're in no rush. That's a good
Yeah, I don't
idea.
think
That's a good idea.
Yeah, Christine, I actually agree with
Yeah,
that.
that's a great idea. That's a great
Yeah.
idea.
We don't,
Glad we thought-
you don't need to on your plate to then.
No, I think it's great we're talking about it. I
Yeah.
didn't know what to tell the guy, but yeah, I wrote it out.
We got all in on
And
that.
you're good with that.
Okay, you're smart.
Yeah, what I'll do is I'll modify your comment and your comment. I'll circulate it to the group.
Perfect.
Why don't we all just kind of turn on it a little bit, and then we'll talk again.
Perfect.
So I'm just gonna cross it off.
Never happened.
Yep.
Wow.
No.
Never happened.
You just got a delivery.
Thank you, Mark.
Hey, Mark. Good night, guys.
See you, Mark. Yeah, no, that's a great idea. Again, this is just really to start a conversation.
Yeah,
More than
yeah,
anything,
perfect.
so.
No,
All right, next, is Bob's contract, which is up, if you guys can believe it, it's been 3 years.
I know, I was
Yeah.
shocked. I feel like we just met him.
His contract expires on December 31st, 2023. It comes with 2 renewals. The renewals go first through Anthony, and he's already approved it. And then, we will make a recommendation like we did when we hired Bob. We will make a recommendation to Brenda, who will then, make a decision, most likely just track,
Rubber stamp.
you know, right, what we and, Anthony has done. So, like I said, this would be, you guys all have the contract, this would be the first renewal starting January 1, 2024 through December 31st, 2024.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, I read it.
Discussion,
No.
yeah.
Yeah,
I think it's great.
absolutely.
I think we're lucky to have you.
I agree.
I agree.
I think we're lucky, all right. Doing a great job.
Some people say I'm older
Your
than,
program, everything that's happened, and the point I wanted to make before, is your merchandise and your, the pro shop is great. I love the new styles that are coming out, and, yeah, great job with the pro shop.
I completely agree.
some people
Super
say I'm
favorite.
older than dirt, but I'm really only older than Smith. And he's the best thing that's happened in all my life of being up here at Smith. So
That's great.
it's just terrific.
Thanks.
Thank you, sir.
Second.
Yeah, why don't we vote on it, so,
Can we vote with Bob here, or does it have to be executive
it's
session?
fine, it's all public. I don't think this is,
Okay.
well, I mean,
I don't know, I think that.
I don't think it's gonna be an embarrassment.
No, it won't be, but is that an executive, I think that's an
That's
executive.
what happened.
I believe we approved him in executive session.
Yeah.
We voted on
I
it.
think we have to
That's right.
do that again.
All right, so.
Get out.
Talk about it.
Actually, I think everybody's supposed to leave.
Yeah.
Because executive session is not public.
Yeah,
Yeah, exactly.
I don't want to make you wrong, but.
No, you're right. I think now that you said that, when we voted to,
Can we do it?
Yeah.
we can go in, so now.
So now somebody has to make a motion to go
Correct.
into executive
I
session.
make a motion to go into executive session.
Second, Mike, all in favor?
Can we
All
just?
right, we have to pause.
What about? You guys got.
Okay, we're out of executive now.
Greedy account.
Oh, no. I'm leaving.
Why, what happened?
Yeah.
I'm not sticking around.
3 people cannot
Yeah.
leave the commission.
I mean, I highlighted that
Time,
when I talked to
the
that.
term.
Oh, yeah,
that's okay.
We're gonna have to, I mean,
He's got to
yeah.
stick around for the 5 hours.
No, I have to.
Bob,
I have to go.
Thank you, thank you.
Yeah.
Yay!
I know we should.
Cupcake.
That's right. All right, any communications other than Mr. Flowers? I didn't see
No,
anything.
sir. Mm-mm.
All right,
Been
public
pretty
comment?
quiet.
Brian, I realized I forgot you earlier when you had your hand up,
No,
so if
I was just confirming, I think you had said it, and Christine had said, move that tee to the right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's, we all know that's a dangerous spot.
Yeah.
That, oh, yeah, yeah.
Peter,
Just to bring you up to speed on his normal comment about audio.
I'm done.
We got quotes, we hired a vendor, we ordered equipment, it's moved along, so.
Oh,
We're
great.
at the install,
Excellent.
for us of that.
It's
So they figured out what it was.
here.
They figured out what it was.
Right?
Yeah, they think
That's government action.
yeah, well,
Yeah.
I will try, he doesn't have to bring it up.
All right.
I hope.
Anybody else? Any other public comment?
I'm glad to hear about the audio.
It needs to be
We had, Dave and I were at our reunion Saturday.
So you were there also, yeah.
Feedback and it
Oh,
was
no.
not
He
good.
said it was awful.
Yeah,
Awful.
it was embarrassing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean,
So
geez,
they had
hold
a
up.
50-year reunion at Boca.
From Ward?
Night, yeah.
I'm hopeful it will be solved.
Part of it is the room.
It might be.
Yeah. the acoustics are
Even this
awful.
room, and we all talk,
Yeah.
this room gets really
Yeah.
loud.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It's like we're in
They seem to feel like he can
Okay.
make it better. I'm hopeful.
Well, that's good news.
Because it should be easy to.
All right.
I
Anybody
move
other
we
questions? Nobody on the
adjourn.
phone? Right, there's nobody on the phone?
Just Anthony.
All right.
I mean, not just Anthony. That's not what I meant, Anthony.
All right. Thank you all.
Wait.
We have to,
Motion to
Um,
adjourn.
motion.
Bob, is it
Oh, let me ask, now that we're at it,
Is it?
what do you guys think about meeting here?
Got it?
Yeah.
Do you wanna continue the meeting in this room, or do you wanna go back to the old
Put it in
room?
my top
No,
five.
I will.
Really?
I
I like that.
The majority,
Yeah, that was my good, like, you're, like, you know what I mean? You like your ducks in a
Mike,
row.
Christine,
Yeah.
what do you guys, you
Then I'm
you
ready.
guys-
Are we adjourned?
Yeah, we're.
Yeah.
buy me a
Okay,
burger sometime.
Definitely.
Okay.
First amendment.